Greetings and welcome back to the Better Money Challenge. I'm Sean Episcopo from NoHusbandLeftBehind.com. In this session, my friend, for week two, we're going to cover giving and sharing. Now, remember, just a quick focus. We want to make sure that we're staying completely on track throughout this challenge over the 5 sessions. Our ultimate goal is to be here to help you with guiding your money as it flows in and out, ultimately to maximize your financial resources. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the intro. I want to first say, my friend, welcome back to the challenge. This is the second session. Hopefully, you're able to watch the first video and to go through and to find those golden nuggets and to take immediate action and to make a difference in your life. But if you haven't had a chance or if you need to go back for a refresher, that's okay. The videos are posted and ready for you. But here, I want to say that it's exciting because you're investing in a better future for yourself and for those who are connected to you. And we're so happy that you have made time to be a part of this challenge. Now, last week, remember, we talked about two areas, income and career. And this specifically, and as far as the challenge is concerned, this is the area where the resources are flowing towards you. So the money is coming towards you, the career, developing skill sets and things to better help facilitate those resources coming into your direction. So if you've had a chance to go through the first week, which one of those are you focusing on? What have you found to be of most interest over the first week of the challenge? Or which one are you more committed to? Are you more committed over the course of this challenge and even beyond, focusing on your income, the amount of resources coming to you, as well as better managing them, with responsibility, right, of what you already have, as well as increasing them. But then maybe you're looking at the other side of the fence, thinking about the career, your skill sets, really working on things to help maximize your potential in your current workplace or even beyond. Now, as we move forward, it's going to feel a little bit more like now the funds are starting to flow away from you. And that's a good thing, my friend, as long as you stay in the driver's seat, controlling where these funds are delegated to. Now, there's no judgment from our community. Whatever you want to do, you spend more money on food or less money, more on electric or less, that's completely up to you. And we believe that you've already had enough time likely to have been paying bills for years potentially, or decades, like my wife and I have. um, you've likely have already figured out what it is that you like to spend money on. So the truth is we want to maximize those abilities, maybe a little bit less here and maybe a whole lot more over here, wherever you really want that focus to be. Now, let's get started in the area of giving. We're going to talk about giving and sharing, and both of these are very valuable. You can focus a lot of attention on one or the other, or even a combination of the two. So, giving is where you're really going to feel that flowing, feeling like your resources starting to flow away from you. In the local church, you've probably heard it taught about tithes and offerings. And depending on what your local church and what the pastor and the leadership have decided what's most important to teach on. The tithe, in its purest form, is considered 1/10, and in biblical times that would have been probably understood more so as 1/10 of the agricultural crop that you grew, 1/10 of the amount of sheep or oxen or whatever it was that were producing, etc. Offering, certain giving during, certain times of year, certain festivals and things. Now, within your local church, there's probably going to be fundraisers and various things that you're willing, hopefully, that you feel willing to support whenever you can, give whatever you can. I don't want you to ever feel obligated and stressed out, where your life, your health, or your family is ever feeling jeopardized. But ultimately, whatever you can afford to give and help out with your local church is to support that work there, buying supplies, paying the utility bills, depending on what type of materials that are given out on Sundays, and or if they do projects throughout the community. So giving to your local church is one way that you can look at giving. Another way to consider is maybe on a little bit larger scale beyond just your local community, if you're able to consider giving into missions and or humanitarian organizations that do work in other parts of the world. So you may hear international, where they work in two or more nations. That could be on one continent or more, or there are organizations that advertise global because they're on two or more continents. They're actually spread out a little bit more. But either way, this is a way that you can invest in helping out beyond your local community in the region where you live and work, usually, right? So potentially you could help multiple countries in some way, and or even better, I feel, is to impact the global church. So it's exciting to work in the local church, to roll up our sleeves, to help out, to give what we can in whatever way we're able to. But then it feels so exciting when we're able to look back over the months and the years that have gone by, and even now, right, even present day, to think about, what am I doing to make a difference for my brothers and sisters in Christ around the world? And another way to consider giving, if you're feeling financially strapped, my friend, it's okay. If what I'm talking about sounds overwhelming, it's not for you right now. Consider this one, this personal and practical giving on an individual level. And I mean from you to one other person. And this is where you get to prayerfully seek God and figure out who it is that you can be helpful to. Consider giving away some of the stuff that you've accumulated, maybe some extra clothes in the closet, maybe some canned goods in the pantry, whatever it is. There's really no limitations on this. If you have something that you're willing to pass on to someone else who is in need, this can be an even more beautiful thing. It could be a brand new friendship in the making. And even if you're going through hard times and things are tight, just giving something, small away can do so much more for someone else. And if that even makes you feel a little bit of stress, then maybe giving is not really what you should be focusing on right now. Let's talk about sharing. Sharing is where you don't have to feel like you have to release anything completely. You can hold on to something while you're sharing it where somebody else gets to benefit as well. And this can actually be where maybe you have somebody you know and you trust, and you want to invite them over to your home for a meal. This could be as simple as splitting a sandwich, just having that time, a relative, a friend, a neighbor, somebody that you know, that you trust, with being able to tell them where you live, first of all, right? But then this gives you a chance to share that time together. You're building potentially a stronger friendship with that fellowship time. But the way you're not giving necessarily, where you're giving something away to somebody, you're actually sharing, with somebody something that you have. You know what I mean? So this is a little bit easier for people that are going through really, really difficult times, job layoff, or, a spouse that's been ill, or whatever it could be. It's okay if giving sounds stressful, my friend. Just think about sharing for right now. What can you share with someone else? Now, maybe you want to connect with somebody at work. Maybe there's a colleague that you have interest in. Maybe, somebody you were talking to and you heard them say something about the Bible or about their church, and you want to spend a little bit of time talking with them outside of the workplace. Maybe something like carpooling where, you have that time together. Maybe if that doesn't work, find something else, but you want to have that time where you can share an experience together, share a conversation where both of you will benefit. Another way you can consider, if time will allow you, to volunteer where you're a part of a team. So you're one member of a team, all of you are working for the common good, right? In the church, we often call it ministry. In the neighborhood, a lot of people will talk about community projects, after school programs for children, or helping out those who are going through hard times, food bank, clothing ministry, etc. Now, let's just look at a few quick takeaways, my friend, really tie it together. So, giving is important, sharing is important, and feel free to pick and choose what you want to do in both or either of those categories. If you want to do one or the other, or both, it's completely up to you. So, the first thing that this is probably one of the most important ones I really would love for you to grasp, my friend, is whatever you decide to do, just be intentional about it. Meaning that I don't want you to feel obligated. I don't want you to do something because you heard somebody else did it and it sounded like, oh, well, maybe I should do it too. Just be intentional about whatever it is you want to do, the people that you want to connect with and help out. But there's no reason to just sit around and wait for something drastic to happen. So if you have somebody in your community, like a single mom that could use somebody, maybe somebody just to help mow the grass or to do something kind. Do something kind and generous now. Never wait until something is like a really, tragic experience before everybody starts to scramble, right? We can do something now. And another thing to consider when it comes to giving, kind of look at it is if you do have a handful of things, maybe in the closet or in the pantry or wherever in the house, consider it like releasing this surplus. You're getting rid of some things, letting go of some stuff, right? And ultimately, it's a win for you and for them. So you're making room for other things as you grow and develop into other resources. And if you really don't need them, and if the other person can benefit from them, it's a beautiful thing you're doing, my friend. And then consider all of what we're talking about, the giving and the sharing coming from the heart. You're being so much more like Jesus. You're an extension of his hands and his feet. And honestly, at the end of the day, whatever you choose to do, my friend, is completely between you and your loving creator. Just have a little bit of prayer time with Father God. Figure out what it is that you can do right here, right now, today, over this week, over the course of this challenge. We are excited, my friend, that you have a willingness to give, a willingness to share, a willingness to be a vessel for the glory of God. So if you've enjoyed this quick training video, consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, and then of course be on the lookout for other videos. And then one last thing, my friend, is for additional resources, always feel free to come and visit the website, nohusbandleftbehind.com. I want to thank you, my friend. I'm so glad that you're a part of this challenge. God bless.